Today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And also with you. I'll stop that from now on. I'm sorry. I'm Derek O'Shea, and this is the Derek O'Shea Show. Robinhood users are reportedly having issues with buying and selling Dogecoin, as Dogecoin soared over 50% in the last 24 hours. Good Lord, are you in Doge? High-ranking Swiss embassy employee, I feel like Dogecoin is just going to collapse after SNL. And Elon Musk is going to walk out a multi-billionaire. He already is. High-ranking Swiss embassy employee, 51 years old, who represents the United States diplomatic interests in Iran, has plunged to her death from the 17th floor of a high-rise building in northern Tehran. What? Was it suicide or... We'll watch how that story unfolds. That's breaking. Top allies of House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy are reportedly planning to oust Representative Liz Cheney, chairwoman of the House Republican Conference, by the end of the month because she refuses to put the party first when she continues to harp on former President Donald Trump. I think Republicans are starting to get a little bit more nervous as they realize their base doesn't necessarily follow their values or care about them just staying in power no matter what. If you're not doing anything about our issues and things we care about, then you need to be gone. U.S. Border Patrol agent Chief Matthew Haddock tweeted on Friday that officials have captured 5 gang members of MS-13 the previous week in Laredo, Texas. So MS-13 is using these migrant caravans to get in. Duh. Will that be on every news outlet? Absolutely not. Why? Because there's no crisis on the border. What are you, nuts? 7, this is so weird. 7 Love Has Won cult members are arrested after a mummified corpse of their leader, Mother of God, is found in Colorado's house shrine, wrapped in Christmas lights, covered in glitter, makeup, and missing her eyes. Ew. What the frick? People are so weird. Gross. Have you ever been a part of a cult? They're pretty fun. Washington, D.C. mayor bans dancing at weddings out of fear for people that will touch each other, while reception capacity is capped at 25%. Mayor Bowser, if you don't want to dance, just tell people. But making other people not dance, it's just plain rude. A railway overpass collapses on a busy highway in Mexico City. At least 23 people are apparently dead, including children, and dozens more are wounded. I've seen numbers up to 79 people. That video is nuts, seeing the train just collapse and on top of all these cars and people walking. It's so sad and insane. The CIA puts out a super woke video as a form of recruitment. And my idea is, I thought you guys were supposed to be secretive. Here you are. Maybe you guys could do an op-ed of everyone a part of the CIA agency, of their sexual orientation and what they believe to be politically correct, and their gender and all that kind of stuff. Because I want to know, as a citizen of America, I want to know what each of my CIA individuals, people a part of the agency, represents, so I know if I'm backing them or not. A woman who claimed she was a teacher. This is like the stupidest story, and it's not being shown on other channels because it doesn't fit the narrative. A woman who claimed that she was a teacher while driving a nice white Mercedes-Benz is stopped by a Latino Los Angeles Sheriff's Department deputy for using her cell phone while she was driving. She then launched into a tirade where she repeatedly accused him of being a murderer, and then concluded that Mexican racist, you're always going to be a Mexican, you'll never be white, you know that, right? Which is true. I'll never be black because I'm white. So I understand that, but that's also so incredibly racist. And that won't be put on, if it was a white guy screaming at like a black officer, it would be on every news outlet ever, because you go, see, these white supremacists are the real issue. No. This black lady driving a white Mercedes-Benz that apparently lives in an apartment is also, I'm a teacher in my Mercedes-Benz. We don't get paid enough. Blah, 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 blah. Just being absolutely racist. And apparently she had a bunch of other things put out against her, false claims that she was being targeted and stuff like that. I love a little bit of justice like that. The fact that this cop had a body cam on him, and apparently he bought it himself to safeguard himself, which is insane that they would have to do that kind of stuff. There's just a little bit of payback because it makes her look so stupid. And the fact that they blur out her face on the video makes it better because you know who knows who that is? The people she works with. Because when she goes into work the next day, they're like, oh, why did you do that? Bill and Melinda Gates announced Monday they're going to decide to get a divorce. And they will no longer believe that they can grow together as a couple. Oh my God. Why is this on every news article everywhere? Who cares? Congrats, Melinda, on being one of the the richest females in the world. You did a great job. Kamala Harris says Biden is sending an extra $310 million in aid to Central America, where corrupt governments are motivating migrants to head to the United States in record numbers. That's right. Not only are we accepting all these migrants, illegal immigrants, criminals, whatever, because you cross the border illegally, not only are we accepting these people and bringing them in and making them a part of a society, we're going to give money to these countries whom they fled. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, that's Kamala Harris's problem. Meghan Markle writes a book called The Bench. Meghan Markle, who cares? But yet I'm here reporting on it. Isn't that nice? Meghan Markle writes a book called The Bench about the relationship between fathers and sons that was inspired by a poem she wrote for Harry after Archie was born and has illustrations of a redheaded soldier, which that part of me is like, it's nice to see some ginger representation in children's books because I just don't see it anywhere. Meghan Markle writes a book after she writes a poem, and she's like, I'm just so inspired by my own poem that I'm going to write a book about it. And then she's going to be like, what, I'm so inspired by my own book and my own poem that I'm going to make a movie about it. I'm just like so inspired by me that I'm going to write a trilogy. And you know what, I'm so inspired that I'm going to make a documentary about me making all these steps of how I'm amazing. Like, oh my God. Could you imagine writing a poem and then being like, oh man, I'm going to write a book about this and I'm going to make it narcissism is... Caitlyn Jenner releases first campaign ad to become California's next governor. 71 years old, slammed Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi as elitists. Wow. And says it's time to restore America's dream by reopening schools and businesses. I see a lot of Republicans coming out against Caitlyn Jenner because she's transgender, but yet she's here speaking more truth than Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. I could go on. It's just nice and refreshing to hear somebody actually not afraid to speak the facts and to speak truth and to speak their truth and not be worried about the votes in California or not. Because if Caitlyn was only worried about the votes, like, all these long-term Republicans would be, then she would only harp against Newsom and say nothing about what Caitlyn is for. And yet Caitlyn has said transgender boys shouldn't be in girls' sports. Whoa. And now she's going out against reopening schools and businesses. We live in a crazy world. Okay. Coke rethinking going woke. Soft drink giant puts a pause on the diversity plan requiring outside law firms to meet racial quotas. Oh, Coke, are you not going to put that on a tweet? You're not going to let us know that maybe going woke was stupid and maybe it was racist because woke is racist? You mean preferential treatment, just one race over another, is not okay? God. French politician Marine Le Pen, or as I say, acquitted in trial over breaking hate speech laws. God. So many European countries on their hate speech laws, I hear them talk about it like when people are racially abused on Twitter and all that crap like that. They're just like these, you just gotta take it out. They have no category for evil. Maybe that's a longer bonus segment, but there's no category for evil. They don't understand what evil looks like. They just feel like you gotta censor it, and by censoring it takes it out, as if censoring evil people will stop them being evil. French politician Marine Le Pen acquitted in trial over breaking hate speech laws. She faced a trial over published images of the Islamic State atrocities on Twitter in December 2015. So she's speaking truth? Don't talk negative of the Islamic State. They do nothing but good. They're very cool to the homosexual and gay and transgender community. Why woke LGBTQ right people back Islamic hate this kind of hate speech towards Islamics makes absolutely no sense, as they just continue to go after the same people as Republicans. Republicans are like, I don't know. Right now, currently, there's a Republican running for governor in California that is transgender, so maybe your foundation is wrong. A seaside town in Japan has raised eyebrows after it used funding for an emergency COVID-19 relief grant to build a giant statue of a squid. That is the most governmental sounding thing I've ever heard in my life.
Here's some money for COVID-19. Thanks. You know, I've always wanted to have a squid statue in front of the town. I think it would bring a lot of business, and I think it would bring some tourists into our town to take some pictures, because, you know, the kids are all about their selfies these days.
A farmer in Belgium has caused a stir after inadvertently redrawing the country's border in France. Apparently he was just on his own property. He's like, I need to move this thing and so I can get around it. And it was an old, huge brick, like concrete brick that was part of the line drawn for Belgium and France. You messed up big, kid. They're going to get you. And Woolers officially started. I'm just kidding. Germany records coldest April in 40 years as heating costs are increased by 50% compared to the same period last year. Just some fun facts. Remember, it was global warming. Now it's climate change. Now it's whatever. Now it's whatever we want it to be. We're going to push our agenda. U.S. corn hits over $7 a bushel, highest in 8 years on supply issues. Worries. No, it's not supply. It's called inflation. It's called, how do you think the corn gets from the farm to your table? Farm to table.
I love a good restaurant. It's just farm to table.
You got to drive it. You got to move it. You got to pay the workers. So if you think, I'm watching my grocery bill just continue to go up. So thanks, Joe Biden. You're doing a great job. Oh, final story of the day. Last week, the New York Post reported on copies of Vice President Kamala Harris's children's book, Superheroes Are Everywhere, which was distributed by migrant detention centers at Long Beach Convention and Entertainment Center, where children are being held due to ongoing crisis of the U.S. border. A story turned out to be false, and I reported on it. I apologize. I tried to do my best, but, I think I've messed up 2 times in the last year and a half. And I've always said that I've messed up, so I apologize. But the New York Post put it out, CNN had it out, Daily Wire had it out, Daily Mail had it out, I'm pretty sure Fox News had it. So I wasn't alone. It was everywhere. But I'm sure they all just stole from the same person. The story turned out to be false, and the only book photographed was a single donated copy. But it makes you wonder, did it just mysteriously go away? And today in history, in 1979, Margaret Thatcher becomes Britain's first female prime minister in what Britons call a revolutionary take on how to run the governmental structure. Have a fantastic day. Actually, I just made that quote up. Have a fantastic day. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Derek O'Shea Show. If you don't mind sharing this show with anyone, everyone you know, put it on any social media platform. It's the only way we will grow because algorithms hate me, media hates me, and I'm an independent creator because independent creators are fake news. Please share this with anyone and everyone you know. Tell your friends and family about it, and share it on every platform. I'd really, honestly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of The Derek O'Shea Show.